Alright, so in case you didn't see the little video in the playlist before this, I made a Sundown Vampire Retreat is actually an 80's film, so I had to repick. And so it is Anaconda that is in the bag, but we are now doing the Waterboy, starring Adam Sandler. And this was when Adam Sandler was on the rise. He had this, Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison, you know. But, yeah. It's a sports movie. I'm not a big sports movie guy, but I guess looking back, I think I like quite a few sports movies, actually, with my Ducks and Replacements and The Sandlot and such. Eventually, I think I'm going to have to do a top 10 favorite sports movies. But Waterboy tells the story of Bobby Boucher, who is a water boy for college. He's obviously not in college. He's 31 in this movie. His mama, played by Kathy Bates, hates everything to do with football. And so one day, she thinks everything is the devil, right? She doesn't like Bobby playing football. She doesn't like being around football because football is for the devil. And she doesn't like that he has a relationship with this woman named Vicky Valancourt, played by Fairuza Balk, who she also says is the devil. Everything Mama is with the devil. The devil, the devil, the devil. But one day, he gets fired from his Waterboy duties for his current football team, and goes on and becomes a Waterboy for free for the Mud Dogs under the coaching of Mr. Coach Klein, played by Henry Winkler, defines himself E. And there's a backstory with him too. There's also Farmer Fran, played by the dad, Sean's dad from Boy Meets World. And he speaks in a weird language. So he does. And Coach, tells, Bobby is there. Try not to yawn, but it just keeps coming out. Bobby is there, doing his Waterboy duties, as he does. And the players won't leave him alone. They keep treating him like crap. Mr. Coach Klein says, don't take it, fight back. And he tackles a dude, which leads Mr. Coach Klein to put him on the team. Of course, Mama doesn't want that, so what Mama don't know won't hurt her. And I like the whole scene in it. He's like, my mother told me I couldn't get a tattoo of, I forgot who it was, but he's like, Mom don't know, won't hurt it. And he pulls it down. Stop yawning! You see the tattoo. I don't remember what tattoo is of, but 9:30 Central Time. But yeah, so he continues to play football for the Mud Dogs. We get the scene with the Colonel Sanders looking teacher. And it's one of those things where you see it, oh, he looks like Colonel Sanders, and then they mention it in the movie. I think if they didn't mention it in the movie, I think it would be funnier. Like, you don't have to spell it out for us. That you don't have to tell us he looks like Colonel Sanders, because we already know. It's a visual gag. You don't need to tell us. Like he's like, no, you're wrong, Colonel Sanders. We don't need to hear that. I also feel like towards the end of this film, there's one too many things going on. Like, so, like, Bobby finally stands up to his mama and he says, I like playing football, and I like Vicky Vanacore, and she showed me boobies, and I like them too, and he stands up to her, right? And then he gets told he can't play football because the coach Red, the one that fired him, says, oh, that's a fake, high school diploma or whatever. And then he's, oh, you're fired. And then, because Mr. Coach Klein and Red, they have a history where Red stole his book and he did nothing about it because he was too scared. He's still too scared of him. So Bobby gets the advice from Mr. Coach Klein earlier because when they're training him, he can't tackle because he's not mad. But they tell him, hey, visualize something that makes you mad and then go for it. And it works. I should mention, beginning of the film, we get a cameo from Mr. Paul White, a.k.a. The Big Show, a.k.a. The Giant, which is what he was at this time, a.k.a. Captain Anthano. That's what they call him here. It's kind of cool to see him back then. But, so yeah, like I said, towards the end, too many things happen. Like, he finally stands up to his mom, and that's a good thing. But then he gets kicked off the team, and everybody turns on him. And like a dime, they turn on him for some reason. Right? Oh, you lied to us? You a cheater. But it's the coach's fault. And he, admits to it. And but he doesn't admit to it to them. He admits to it to Bobby. And tells him, all that. But they say, hey, you can play again. You just gotta take tests. But so he takes the test and he passes. But as he's leaving the school, he then finds out his mama had an incident. She's sick. She's in the hospital. Of course, she's faking it to get attention, but everyone knows that. And eventually, Vicky, that gets everyone because he thinks everyone turned on him, but everyone shows up and says, "Hey, Bobby, we're friends. We're not against you." And he's still, he's all about his mama. But then Mama wakes up. And she's like, Bobby, you gotta go out there. You gotta play that foosball. And you gotta, So, yeah, just all kind of do. Because we need conflict, right? Because he stands up to his mama. There's no real bad guys in this film, except for maybe Red. But he's a football bad guy thing. But he's not really a villain per se. Like, there's no mustache twirling. I mean, he's a villain for Coach Klein, basically. But for Bobby, there's no real test. We gotta have that, he gets found out that he's fake. He can't play. He takes the test. Okay. Then we just go on to the game, right? No. Then we gotta do the thing with Mama. And that's what always I don't like, is that we have to have Mama needs attention, so she has to go in the hospital, but it amounts to nothing anyway, because she still ends up playing the game. And okay, one thing with sports films, I don't get how, like, it seems like not every sports film, but a lot of them have it where, it's time for the big game, but then the person who's going to help the team go to victory doesn't show up until halfway through the game. Why? And it doesn't work that way. You show up halfway through the game, you don't play. You gotta be there at the beginning of the game, play. But this is a movie. So he shows up in the middle of the game and he's able to play football. This makes no sense, but it's been done in a lot of sports movies I've noticed where, they're running late. I think they do it in replacements too, don't they? Shane Falco shows up in the halftime, right? It's been a little while. A few months. But I'm gonna be getting that movie, by the way. I need to do a review for that. But yeah, and then they do it in a couple of Mighty Ducks movies. Mighty Ducks 3 has the one where Portman comes back. That's the one. They do it in these sports movies, and it's like, That wouldn't happen. They have to show up at the beginning of the thing. They're watching them going, where is he? Why isn't he going to start? Because he's back at the... No. He had already been in town because they were at the hospital. Why have to go from the hospital? If they knew the game was going to happen, then why did they go from the hospital back to the house to pack a bunch of stuff and head back out into town? That makes no sense to me. Makes no sense. Why? So they can make some grand entrance that we don't see? By the way, because it's like just the speech the coach is doing, and then he comes in. Remember that time that everyone's like remembering a time about what Bobby did, this Bobby did. Remember that time that Babu Shea showed up at halftime and we won the game or something like that? And it's like, okay, but why do we need it? Just... Yeah, I do like how he coaches the coach. Hey, think of something that's not scary. And so, like, he sees Red as like a baby and then a puppy, and it's funny. Yeah, this has many classic lines. No, Colonel Sanders, you're wrong. No, I like football, and I like Vinnie Valancourt. She likes me, and she showed me boobies, and I like them too. And Gatorade, water sucks. It really, really sucks. The power bomb. Compliment of Captain Atheno. Mm-hmm. No, Mama, you're the devil. Just, fantastic. And of course, who can forget the classic line? But from her friend is theirs. But yeah, this movie, like, I feel like the dad thing too. Robert, I like they say he's dead at the beginning, and in the middle of the film or so, she tells him that he's still alive and that he ran off because she's confessing stuff. Now, in the middle of the film, it's towards the end, but why was that needed? I feel like they wrote him dead, and then they realized, hey, we need to gag at the end, so we'll say that he's alive, and then he shows up. It's your daddy, Roberto. You're gonna play in the NFL. I'm not gonna go to the NFL. I'm gonna go to school and I'm gonna get a college education. And then Mama tackles him, and then you can do it. You can do it all night long. You get that line, This is a fun movie. It's not perfect. Somebody gotta get a perfect score, but I'm gonna say the Waterboy is pretty good. I thoroughly enjoyed my time. Laughed my butt off during this movie, I tell you that much. Visual gags like them throwing a ball or something out the window and it hit Colonel Sanders in the head. Next movie is basketball, so that'll be the next one, and that is Anaconda we'll finish up with. So, look for that. So, what are your thoughts on the Waterboy? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty. I'll see you in the next one.